You ever look at a Hot Wheel Redline and just wonder what's going on inside? Well, that's the case in today's build. Don't go away. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Fat Guy Productions. I am Paul, coming to you as always from beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. So, I've had what fours in my collection for some time now, and I just never really tackled one because they weren't really my cup of tea, and all the glass was bad. And I couldn't find replacement glass. I didn't want to trash a car just to get a window. But one day I happened to get another what four, and it had a piece of glass that, although it was beat up and brittle, it was usable, and I could save it. So I decided this would be a good time to do a what for and answer a question that had just been wearing on me. What's with the stupid fin? Every what for I've ever seen, the fin is always kind of wishy-washy and sloppy, and you can push it down, you can pull it up, you can move it this way and that way, and I'm like, are they broken? What's going on here? Well, I'm going to restore a what for, and I'm going to get a look inside the car and find out what exactly is going on with that fin. Let's get to it. So today I'm going to be tackling the Hot Wheels Redline what for and the mystery of the fin. As you can see, my what for is in pretty ugly shape. The paint stinks. The glass is awful, but it is one piece, and that's a plus. The fin is all kind of jinkety and dirty. The wheels are crunchy. The base is a little oxidized. This car needs some love. So I am going to drill this car apart using my shielded drilling technique in Vix Bit, but I do have to get a little bit creative because whatever is going on with the fin, I don't want to make it worse. So I'm going to prop the car up on my little razor knife so that I don't put any pressure on the fin and possibly damage it. With the mushroomed heads of the rivets drilled away, I can go ahead and with a little persuasion pop this car apart and get a look at its component pieces. So luckily it's got a solid suspension board, the axles are good, got a good interior, and here's the little fin mechanism, and it looks like it's made to move. I thought it was broken or something, but it really does look like it's made to move. Now you could say, well, they just wanted a different color fin with the interior, but it does look like the fin is designed to slide on a couple little rails almost, so it can go down and go up however the user wants it to be. So I honestly believe that's a design feature, and the fin is meant to be able to move. Anyhow, let me know in the comments what you think about the fin. Is that a design feature or just the way it looks? Because I really don't know. Anyhow, you saw the glass. It's stinky. It's going to need a lot of love. The wheels are okay. They're going to work. They're cap style, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem. And the body, well, we'll see what it looks like after it takes a bath in the warm liquid goo. But first, let's prep these posts. So I will drill out the front and back posts. Then I will tap them so they will take a screw, and that way I can put the car back together when I'm done. Now for my favorite part of all my diecast builds, a trip to the warm liquid goo phase. Take the casting and drop it in. Down she goes into the depths. Man, do I love that. So, to my happiness, the body looks really, really nice. There are some little spots of tarnish, but I think they're going to be able to be handled with a trip through Lime Away. So I'm going to try that first, and I'm going to drop the body into the Lime Away mixture. This is just 50-50 Lime Away and water, and we'll let that work on the tarnish. Then we can go ahead and polish it up. So, what is worse than vampires or vampire eggs? Pubes. Lots and lots of pubes. I was going to drop the base into the Lime Away with the body, only to realize that these axles are just clogged with pubes. They're everywhere. It is so gross, and they have to be removed before I can move on. So I'm going to get all the pubes off the axles so I can drop this into the Lime Away mix. Now, don't judge me, but for just a moment, the briefest moment, I thought about putting all these pubes into an envelope and mailing them to my sister. Don't judge me. Now, happily pube free, I can go ahead and drop the base into the Lime Away mixture with the body and let that clean up the tarnish. So once out of the Lime Away, I'll give the body and the base a quick rinse, and we can see what we have to work with here. I like what I'm seeing, and I think we're going to be able to get away with just a good polishing job. So I'll start off by hitting up the body and the base with my brass bristle brush. Probably use a little bit of 4-0 steel wool, and then I'll move on to Flitz. So after polishing it up with the Flitz, everything came out really, really great. So I can head straight over to the paint booth, where I'm going to first give the casting a good cleaning using some isopropyl alcohol, and then we can start laying down our color. If you remember back to the beginning, this car was blue, and I really liked the way it worked with the blue glass, so I'm going to go right back to blue. So this is literally going to be just a straight up restoration. As always, the paint will go on in layers, starting with the tack coat, where I put on just the slightest misting. This will give the other layers of paint some tooth and something to bite to. So just the smallest, lightest coat, you should barely see any color at all. Once I'm done with the tack coat, I'll use the medium coats to start to build up the color. Spectraflame paint can go through a whole range of colors depending on how thick or thin you apply it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build up to just short of the color I want using medium coats. This will allow me to get to the shade I want, so that when I put on those final couple of wet coats, I'll hit my target and it's going to look great. Now we'll lay on the wet coats, and the secret here is to see the paint going on. You want to see it going on wet and glossy and smooth and shiny, but not to the point where it can run. And you have to be able to see the paint hitting the car to do this right. While the paint cures, I thought we could take another look at the fin and the interior and how it works. And it looks like the fin has like these little holes in it that ride up and down on like little posts that are molded into the interior piece. It really, really, really looks like this is intended to allow the fin to slide up and to slide down. I just don't see any other reason to design this way if that's not the case. So I'm pretty positive this is intended to be able to move up and down as the user prefers. Anyhow, we can put that to the side and we're going to focus on the base now. The base is still grungy. It went through the lime away, but it needs its polish job now. And so does this glass piece. So here I'm going to give the fin a little bit of love. It's got some pretty rough edges and it's a little dirty and dingy. So I'm just going to kind of sand away any anomalies. And by sanding it, I'm also cleaning it up and making it look nicer. So I'm killing two birds with one stone, just using a 1000 grit sanding sponge here. And it's working great. It's going to make the fin look fantastic. Now the glass is really, really gnarly. And it seems to be brittle. I want to move carefully here because I don't have any other glass for this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a 1000 grit sanding sponge and I'm going to sand this down as much as I dare to smooth it all out, clean it all up, and then after a trip through the gauzy, it should look spectacular. So I grab my glass, give it a quick dip, I'll wick away the excess, and then we'll put it in the onion saver to dry. So here's one of the polishing heads that I use, and I've told you about these before. They look like little dandelions. They're pretty fantastic. I really like them better than the other stuff, and they hold up a lot better. They'll shed a little bit, but nowhere near as bad as those cotton wheels, and I just really love these. They're available on my Amazon store by going to www.amazon.com/shop/Paul Udelis, and you'll be able to find these polishing wheels on my site. I really do love them. I just can't say enough about them. You won't regret getting the set. Okay, so I've got a little of the Flitz on my finger and I smeared it all about, and now I'm just going to use my polishing wheel. I'm going to polish this base up. It should come out spectacular, especially after the lime away bath. And then I'll go ahead and seal the entire thing up using my Renaissance wax so it won't re-tarnish on me again. So I like to keep the old funky wheels on as long as possible. In the case of hubs, I believe that those old junky wheels serve the great purpose of protecting the hubs while I'm working on the base, and same with the cap style wheels. I believe they protect the back of the cap, and the back of the cap is the name of the game. If that's damaged, you're going to have to do a complete axle replacement, and I don't want to do that here. So yeah, I keep the old wheels on as long as possible. But the base is done, and this car is ready for some new cap style wheels. So I'll take the X-Acto, slide it in the gap between the back and the front, pop those fronts off, and put some new chrome wheels on here. Looks great and rolls great. That's what I'm talking about. This is going to look nice, folks. Everything is dolled up. The paint and the glass are dry. It is time to stick this car back together. I started out by dropping the glass into position. Now I can go ahead and put in the interior. Then I'll just fit the base on over the top, being careful not to dislodge anything. And then using my little screws, I can go ahead and put this car together. And just look at how good this little son of a gun came out. It looks as good, if not better, than the day it came out of the blister pack. So there you have it, my What For. I think it looks really great. I love the color choice on this, especially with the blue glass. I think it all works in the white fin. Everything just works. It looks fantastic if you ask me. And now I know that the fin is actually supposed to be able to move. At least that's what I deduced from what I saw inside the car. Tell me what you think about what you saw. Is the fin supposed to be a moving feature? Because it looks like it to me. Be interested to hear your thoughts. Anyhow, I hope you liked the build and I hope you liked the video. If you did, please give it a giant thumbs up, click subscribe, and don't forget to click the notification bell so you never miss one of my videos. If you have any questions or comments, please, as always, leave them down below. I love to hear from you guys. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Until next time, this is Paul from Fat Guy Productions saying, be good.